This October, the Biden administration plans to increase the ceiling of refugees allowed into the US to 125,000. According to the UN, about 26 million people around the world have been forced from their homes and live as refugees in foreign countries. That number has surged in recent years. At the same time, the previous administration had drastically reduced the cap on refugees admitted into the country. They had set the cap at historic lows in each of the past 4 years, culminating with 15,000 for fiscal year 2021. The previous low was 67,000, and that was in 1986. But why does this humanitarian work matter to our country? We know that instability, despair, injustice, and oppression lead to forced migration and breed conditions of extremism. From the rise of the Axis powers to the September 11th attacks, extremism crosses borders to harm multiple countries, regions, and peoples, including our own. The United States is uniquely positioned through its political and economic might to address the conditions that foster displacement and extremism. Now, reasonable people may believe that reducing migration flows into the United States is a matter of national security. However, the data do not support the claim that refugees threaten public safety. A Cato Institute study calculated that the chance of an American being killed by a refugee committing a terrorist act was 1 in 3.86 billion. Arguably, the hardest possible path to entering the United States is as a refugee because of the rigorous selection and vetting process. Now, some Americans may also fear refugees will become an economic burden on our country. Again, this is not the case. Studies have shown refugees strengthen our economy and enrich our communities. Welcoming refugees should be a source of pride for all Americans. Shutting the door on vulnerable people betrays our country's values of expanding liberty, providing opportunity, demonstrating compassion, and promoting justice. Increasing the refugee cap aligns with the generosity of spirit that is so characteristic of the American people.